In the last episode, we saw how God created the world and everything in it, including man. But there's still more to the creation account that we haven't looked at yet. So let's continue. We pick up our story today with the placement of our first parents in the garden that God had created for them. In Genesis 2:15, it says, "The Lord God placed the man in the Garden of Eden to tend and watch over it." As we think about this passage, let's consider these three questions. Why do you think God placed the man in the garden? What was the man's responsibility, and what does it mean to tend something? If you've been watching the series from the beginning, you might be tempted to say, God placed the man in the garden so that he could eat from the trees and enjoy all the blessings of the garden. But if you read just a little further, you find that there was one tree that the man was not allowed to eat from, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. In fact, God said in verse 17, "You may freely eat the fruit of every tree in the garden, except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If you eat its fruit, you are sure to die." This means that if the man ate from that tree, he would not simply die physically, but he would also die spiritually, meaning he would cut himself off from fellowship with God. So the real reason why God placed the man in the garden was not just so that he could live there and enjoy it, but so that he could work there. You see, the man was responsible to tend and care for the garden. And the word tend means to care for and to guard. The man's job was to protect the garden from outside forces that could destroy it. At the same time, he was also to develop and cultivate the garden, making it more and more fruitful. But before we move on, let me ask you another question. How do you think the man felt when God made him responsible for such a huge task? Was he excited or overwhelmed? Was he happy or worried? The thing is, the Bible doesn't say. It doesn't tell us whether the man was happy with his job or not. But I think it's safe to say that taking care of an entire garden could be a daunting task, especially for the first guy who's never done it before. As we close today's episode, let's remember that while God gave the man a very important job to do, he didn't leave him alone to do it. In the next passage, we see that God said it's not good for the man to be alone, so he created a helper for him. And if you listen very carefully, you can hear the loneliness in God's voice. He created the animals, but none of them were a suitable helper. Then he put the man to sleep and created the woman while he was sleeping. I wonder if you think about how amazing it is that God created the woman while the man was sleeping. Next week we'll look at the creation of the woman and how she became the perfect helper for the man. So make sure you join us then. Until then, thank you for watching.